Good Monday morning. I'm KHG11 meteorologist Kim Castro. Here are the latest updates on this looming winter storm. We have great confidence that Houston will be seeing snow. So I want to start off with that. I'm going to walk you through the timeline, and first I want to start with the preparations. So we're going to start seeing snow flurries as early as about 6 o'clock this evening, and then heavy snow expected to roll in tonight. So what do you need to do? Make sure you're wherever you're going to stay put by this evening. So no later than 10 o'clock, I want to see you at home, not on the roads. And then I would really strongly advise you to stay off the roads through Wednesday. Our official winter storm warning starts at 6 o'clock tonight, and it expires at 6 o'clock Tuesday evening. Now, why I'm advising you to try and stay off the roads through at least Wednesday morning is because although the snowfall is going to stop on Tuesday, temperatures are going to stay very cold, so whatever snow starts to melt has a high likelihood of freezing over into a thin layer of ice on the roads. So bottom line is, if you can avoid travel through Wednesday morning, that is when I'm encouraging you to stay home until. Now, if you cannot, I'm going to really advise you to take it with extreme caution. The roads are going to be impassable in some spots, and at the very least very dangerous. What you need to do in your home, make all the winter preparations. We've been talking about covering up your pipes all last week, all through the weekend. Hopefully you've already been able to do so. You still have a couple of hours this afternoon to do so. Drain the sprinklers and make sure that your cabinets are open. Aside from wrapping up the pipes, it's a good idea to open up your cabinets so whatever warmth that you have inside your home can flow and circulate throughout the house too, in the areas that typically don't get that warmth and aren't insulated. Icy areas could have power outages. Now, I want to let you know that this is not like the 2021 incident we had by any stretch. However, it is a localized significant event, and so local areas, communities, neighborhoods could see significant power outages. So for that reason, I want you to prepare on the back end for that. Make sure you've got all the winter gear handy, all those heavy blankets, that you're checking in on your neighbors, that you've found a plan for your pets. So either bring them inside or find a good shelter for them. If they can't go inside the home, find a shed, find a garage space that they could stay bundled up and protected from this. Okay, we'll start future track there. I'll stop the clock at 11 o'clock this evening. So like I mentioned beforehand, flurries are going to be possible. 6, 7 o'clock. If you're planning to leave the office late today, don't. In fact, I encourage you to leave the office a little earlier today, say around 4 o'clock would be a good idea, because I'm expecting, because the temperatures are so cold and the cloud cover's in place, I'm looking at the clouds outside the window right now, there's a thick deck of clouds, and so I am seeing a higher likelihood for the pre-snow banding activity to be snow flurries. Now, if for whatever reason we do get some drizzle, some rain ahead of this, that's where the concern for some ice on the roads would be. So just keep that in mind. Temperatures are definitely cold enough to support snow, but there could be a little mix still out there. So just keep that in mind. So 11 o'clock, you'll notice heavy snow dropping in from Crockett, from Waco, over Huntsville, over Livingston, Brenham, down to the Woodlands, down to the airport, and then getting into our northern cities and counties. So scraping the Heights, scraping the villages, getting down to Jersey Village, to Hunters Creek. That's going to continue through the overnight hours. So I think by midnight onwards, we're going to start to see snow area-wide and snow that's accumulating. So this is going to be happening as you're sleeping. Waking up early tomorrow morning, still seeing heavy snow. So now I'm stopping the clock at 6:30. Now, if you are hunkered down at home, you're not going to travel, wake up at 6:30, look out the window and check it out. Snow in your backyard, that is a huge deal for Houston, and that'll be a nice to enjoy from the comfort of your own home. So that'll be nice. Wake up at 6:30 and you'll see that snowfall in your backyard. Moving through the clock, by about 10 a.m., a lot of the showers, snow bands are wrapping up, pushing towards the southeast. So at this point, traveling down the Gulf Freeway, League City, Pearland, I think you'll continue to see some snow bands there, Bay City, Baytown, all the way down to Galveston. So that's actually the area that I think is going to get the most snow accumulation. So we'll talk about the snow totals here coming up in a second, but let's go through the timeline first. So that's 10 a.m. By noon, most of the banding, most of the snow showers are off the coastline, and then we're still in for a very cold stretch. So part one of this winter setup is the actual winter storm with the precipitation. So this goes into effect at 6 o'clock tonight, and it lasts through 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Let's talk about the totals. I think the highest likelihood is 3 to 5 inches area wide. Some spots closer towards the bay could pick up 6 inches, maybe localized totals that are a little bit higher. And I think a little less snow the further north and west that you go. So if you live in Brenham, if you live in Columbus, if you live in Huntsville, you'll still see some snow, but I don't think you're going to get as much accumulation. Now, Harris County is right in that sweet spot, in the in-between. So Houston, the Loop, the Beltway, wherever you live, basically, Sugar Land, Richmond, Memorial, Hunters Creek, Jersey Village, Cypress, you are right in that spot that is going to accumulate a few inches of snow. And notice I'm not using words like possibly or potentially. No, the models have been very much in agreement, and they have been doing that for multiple runs. So at this point, we're just gearing up for the snow to come down. So here is your forecast tonight through Tuesday as far as totals. Like I talked about, Houston proper about 3 inches, and then a little bit heavier the closer you push down to the coastline. Now this isolated 5 to 7 inches is still possible as far west as Galveston. So I just want you to keep that in mind, although right now the highest likelihood for the bulk of the banding of snow is pushing towards Louisiana. But you know, a huge swath of us under that winter storm warning. Let me go back to it now. There. So it goes all the way from San Antonio all the way to New Orleans. So this is a big area that is going to be experiencing this snow. So I show you that because I know a lot of us travel for work. And so hopefully you've been able to communicate with your employer, and they've been able to let you know to just stay put. I mean, if the airports are staying put and not operational for Tuesday, I'm sure that your work is taking those precautions too. So what is the confidence here? Like I talked about, high confidence for the hard freeze, for those temperatures that are dangerous to be in outside, for the snow accumulation all the way into the highest category, travel impacts all the way into the highest category. Power outages, we have, you know, we're going to have to monitor that on a case-by-case basis, neighborhood by neighborhood. But regardless, we are under a weather impact alert. This is for Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's check in on current temperatures right now. So Lubbock already dropping down to 24 degrees, St. Angelo 29, Austin below freezing, and Houston just barely above 34 degrees, San Antonio below freezing, Victoria 37 degrees. Now, if we widen up the view, very cold air is headed in our direction. So this cold air will continue to pull down southward. So just to the north of us, Oklahoma City 22 degrees, Little Rock, Arkansas 19 degrees, and then teens and single digits the further north that you go. Looking at future track, 3 o'clock on Tuesday. So at this point, the snow showers will have ended. So we walked you through future track by about noon. Remember, I told you that most of the moisture is off the coastline. Now, because we're going to have several inches of snow even throughout the day as temperatures warm above, slightly above freezing, I should say, 34 degrees, just 2 above, we're not going to warm up. It is going to be extremely cold. That solar radiation isn't going to hit the ground because the ground is going to be covered with snow. So it's going to hit that snowpack and is going to start to melt it a little bit, which is not a good scenario for travelers still, because that melted snow will once again refreeze. Look how cold we're going to get Wednesday morning. So that's a snapshot at 7 o'clock, 20 degrees. So you can bet that whatever snow turned into a liquid will harden into ice. And not to mention the wind chill values on Wednesday morning. So that's what the air actually feels like on your skin with a little breeze factored into the cold air. It'll get down to as low as 10 degrees. So Wednesday, also another day that's advised that you stay inside And if you, for whatever reason, have to spend any time outside, let's say you're checking in on a pet that's in the shed or the garage, whatnot, just make sure that all of your extremities are covered. So make sure you've got your gloves on. Make sure that you've got no exposed skin if you can help it. So scarves, beanies, anything of that nature. This is cold. This is very cold for Houston. We're certainly not used to this. Weather impact alert. So again, mostly snow. There is a small possibility for right before the snow banding starts to take place that we get a little mixture out there, but for the most part, with temperatures this cold, we're expecting snow showers all across the area. Once again, 6 o'clock tonight, that is when our winter storm warning starts. It doesn't expire until 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Now, beyond Tuesday, remember I showed you, temperatures stay very cold, and so the hard freeze lasts all the way into our Wednesday. So this is basically just a warning for the moisture in the air and the snow that's going to fall. But this weather impact lasts us all the way through Wednesday because of the cold temperatures too. So impossible travel. It is going to be very difficult and very dangerous at that. Let's walk you through Future Trek again if you're just joining us. So 7 o'clock tonight, a couple of flurries starting to pop up. Notice this isn't all white or blue, which would indicate snow. There's little pockets of bright pink. There's little pockets of green, which would signal either some freezing drizzle or a little bit of sleet. So if you can already be inside where you're going to stay through the night by about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock tonight, that would be best. And then you definitely want to be where you're going to stay by 10, because 10 o'clock, already heavy snow coming down to Huntsville, to the Woodlands, dropping into the Loop and the Beltway even by 10. By midnight, that's when the heavier snow starts to stack up. So midnight through the overnight hours. Notice now everybody, for the most part, in the blue. Notice a couple areas of pink, so maybe a little sleet mixture closer to the coastline, a little freezing rain there. But everybody starts to see that snow by the time we're waking up Tuesday morning. So if you're curious about seeing snow in Houston and you're doing it safely from the comfort of your own home, wake up tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. I'll be doing the same to just open up the window and check out the snow. I have been getting a couple texts, a couple messages asking, hey, is this as bad as it's going to, as bad as it sounds? Is this something that I actually need to stay off the roads for? I'm going to say yes. This is a forecast that's verifying, okay? So we are seeing the models coming into consensus, and now instead of saying the possibility, this is more of a certainty. So this is the likelihood that you're going to see several inches of snow in your home. So to answer that question, yes, this is what we're expecting tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. from Harris County dropping into Galveston. So along the Gulf Freeway, traveling through League City, through passing through Pasadena, just east of Pearland. You'll notice some darker blues, some heavier snow potential there, and that'll last us at least through lunchtime on Tuesday. Notice that winter storm warning extends all the way through 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and that's because the snow that's in place with temperatures this cold is not going anywhere. There's going to be very light melting under clear skies. That light melting is going to refreeze with those temperatures in the teens for several areas waking up Wednesday morning. So your 7-day forecast looks like this. Today we're making our last minute preparations, okay, for the next several hours. By this evening, that is when you should be inside. That's when the snow and the sleet mixture starts to move in. It turns heavy overnight into early Tuesday. 90% chance of snow in your backyard. So make those preparations and make sure that you have worked out your work schedule ahead of time so you're not having to make that split-second decision in the morning. Should I go? Should I not go? I'll make the call for you. Don't go. Wednesday, temperatures very cold, and the wind is going to be at play as well. So it's going to be the teens that feel as low as 10 degrees, maybe even a couple of areas with a single-digit feel outside Wednesday morning. So that's when that hard freeze is going to be in effect. By Thursday, things look a lot better. Notice our temperatures are still well below freezing to start, but those afternoon high temperatures breaking out of the 30s, now in the upper 40s, and things look a lot better through the weekend. Okay, join us live here on the KHOU 11 News at noon. I'll be there to give you an update in a few minutes, and then join me back here again at 4 o'clock. I will be with our Chief Meteorologist, David Paul. See you then.